Get some funnies in this bitch.
Get some funnies in this bitch. That's what they say. How you guys doing? How you guys doing tonight? 751? Yeah! Wow! Still act like a rock star even on that one. That's, yeah, I love comedy. Comedy's awesome because it takes you to, like, all sorts of weird places. Like, I was doing a tour of the Maritimes this past summer. And I love the Maritimes because people really get stoked on their trees out there. Like, I'd go and do all these small towns. And when we drove in, people were like, oh my god, did you enjoy all the foliage on the way in? Wasn't that a nice drive? Didn't you enjoy all those trees? Like, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it lovely? Like, I went to PEI and they're like, hey, did you notice our soil? Isn't it beautiful? It's red. Isn't that beautiful? I'm like, yo, calm down. You got some unique dirt. Shut the fuck up. Like, there's nothing special about that. Like, I come from a city. That doesn't impress me. Like, I'm from the city. Like, what impresses, like, on the way over here just now, I saw a crackhead fighting a seagull for a crust of pizza. That's tourism to me. Like, fuck your dirt. I want more crackheads in the Maritimes, you know? I love Montreal, though. Montreal's awesome because you get used for sex a lot. Like, just, like, since I've been to Toronto, everyone has Tinder jokes. In Montreal, we don't have Tinder. We got bars. You just go there and you fuck. That's how it works. Like, you don't need to be like, yeah, okay. I don't even know how Tinder works. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, is that when you go and fuck? Like, that's a bar, isn't it? Like I get used for sex all the time. Like, usually happens at the end of the night, like when I'm blackout drunk. I guess this is a sexy look for some ladies. There's always larger women, too. They just come by, pick me up, put me in their back pocket, use me for a dildo later. It was embarrassing. Like, I'd wake up in strange places. Like, I wouldn't even wake up on the bed. I'd wake up, like, on a cot on the foot of the mattress with a girl with a disappointed face. Like, can you please leave? Can you please leave? I'm like, hey, you used me. Like, don't I get a cuddle? Like, that's the best part about hooking up with a large woman is the cuddle. Like, just give me a fucking big spoon here, woman. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you looking at me all disappointed? And I realized why. It's because I'm not so good at the sex. Sorry, ladies, you know, not so good at the sex. I used to treat sex like pigeons treat food. Have you ever seen a pigeon aimlessly peck around for food? Like, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Pick up a cigarette butt, spit it back out. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? That used to be me. So I read one of your Cosmopolitans there. Now I realize you gotta take sex slow. Take it easy. Now I treat sex more like chess. Take my time. Make my first move like, bam. Bam. And it's amazing because it's very adversarial. Lasts for hours, and I always go first because I'm white. It's perfect. I love it. I love that chest fuck, you know? Learning a lot of things this year. I'm learning a lot of new things. I'm learning that love's the worst. Did you guys know this? You guys in love? You guys in love at all? Yeah, it's the fucking worst. It's the fucking worst. You can tell by you're like, yeah, it's pretty good. No, I've been in love like so many times. Like, I'm old as fuck and it's all the worst. It's all just the worst, trust me. Like, love's great as an idea. You know, like, sure, you have someone that cares about you and they love you and you love them. Love's just the worst because you can't help who you fall in love with. Like, you can fall in love with, like, the biggest piece of shit in the world, but you're always going to go back because you love each other. That's why there's those relationships where you break up and get back together, like, 17 times, you know? You're like, hey, maybe it'll be different this time. Maybe it'll be different. And you're like, holy fuck, it's the exact same. Oh, my God, it's the exact same. Then you're like, a couple weeks later, like, maybe it'll be different this time. Maybe it'll be different. And like, nope, she's still a crazy bitch. Fuck, why did I do that, you know? And it's like, I've been in that relationship before, so you're having, like, more makeup and breakup sex than actual relationship sex. Like, you gotta be careful. Like, I've been in that relationship where you're just breaking up over everything. Like, this one time I came home with my girlfriend, I was like, what the fuck? You put the margarine on the counter and the butter in the fridge? Now that margarine's gonna melt and that butter won't spread. Fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. By the time I got to the door, I'm like, hey, maybe things will be different this time? Come on, let's give it another try, you know? You gotta watch out for that. Soon you're gonna be like 10 years down the line, you just fucking hate each other. You're like in the back porch just staring straight ahead. You can't even look at each other. You're eating dry toast because you don't buy spreadables since the margarine butter fight of '03. Just fucking hating each other, remembering when it used to be good. Like I had this one girl that we broke up and we got back together, and she's like, I don't think we can see each other anymore. I wish things could be the way they used to be. Why can't things be the way they were? I was like, that's some stupid ass shit. You know who thinks that? Redneck racists, cokehead that remembers the 80s, and Argentinian Nazis. Those are the only ones that want things to be the way they were. Just like fucking move on with your life and shut the fuck up, you know? Like, I've been in that relationship before. There's this one girl, we like broke up and got back together. She's like, I don't think this is gonna work out. I think about other people when I'm with you. I was like, so? What kind of fantasy fucking world do you live in when you're just thinking about your partner constantly? I'm like, you're the love of my life and I barely think about you. Like, let me break down the hierarchy of who I think about. It goes me, it goes comedy, it goes other women, goes nature, goes other men, and then you're number 6. You're number 6, and you're the highest anyone's ever been on that hierarchy because you're my fucking soulmate now. Come on. Maybe things will be different this time, you know? Also found out I was a slut recently. That was big news for me. Like, I used to be one of those guys that just like, a lot of guys that think like, no, we're not sluts. We're players. I'm a player. I fuck sluts. That's what I do. No. It's not true. After a certain amount of sex, everyone becomes a slut. I don't care who you are. I found it out that I was a slut because I started saying slutty things in weird situations. Like I was at a restaurant the other day and I was like, whose asshole do you gotta lick to get some service over here? Come on, bring it over! Is it a bus washer? I don't care. Let me lick that asshole. Like, it's crazy, you know? I don't know. I am a slut though. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I would suck a dick for some pussy. That's just me though. That's just me. But I'm a slut, so I'd suck a dick for some slightly better dick. Like, I'd suck your dick to get to his dick. That's all I'm saying. I'm a slut, you know? Crazy. Yeah, crazy. Speaking of being a slut, I was working with this guy that I work with. He came up to me. He's like, hey, man, do you want to know how to not make your balls smell after sex? Which was weird because I was talking to him about basketball. I'm like, oh, the Raptors actually have a chance this year. He's like, do you want to know how to make your balls smell? Not make your balls smell after... I'm like, since you yelled at me like that, I guess. So what his plan is, like, say you're sleeping with 2 girls that night, and the second girl's like your wife or your girlfriend, so you want to treat them good, you know? So like to get that pussy smell off the balls, he's like, you just dip your balls in club soda. That's it. You just dip those balls in club soda, you're gonna be fine. I was like, that's what? Where are we fucking? Like, is soap and water not available? Like, where are we fucking? Or are you just fucking in the back of a grocery store? It's like, can I use your washroom, sir? No, I'm sorry, it's not for customers. Fuck you, don't worry, I got a plan. And he just like pours club soda all over his balls. Someone walks down the aisle. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm cheating on my wife. What the fuck you? What the fuck you? I assume he's pouring balls on your... Whatever. I was just wondering how many experiments he went through before he found out about club soda. Like, was he pouring, like, poutine gravy all over his dick? Like, that'll do it. That'll do it. He goes home to his wife. He's like, is that poutine gravy on your balls? That's the oldest trick in the book. I don't know. Maybe. I also, I don't watch porn a lot, you know, because that gets my fuck on, you know? I don't watch porn a lot. People think that's weird. Like, people are always like, hey, you don't watch porn, you fucking freak? Like, even women are like, what kind of sick fuck are you? You don't watch porn? What, are you out there murdering or something? I'm like, nah. Like, I don't know. Like, I masturbate to the equivalent of a dude in the 40s going off to war. Like, I like a black and white photo with just a little bit of leg showing. Just like a little bit of leg. And I'm like, yeah, show me those gams. Yeah. Like, I'm all about gams, you know? I don't watch porn because I was scarred as a child. Like, my brother and I, we shared the same living room, and I came home, and I found porn in the VCR. So I was like, fuck it, I was looking for Beauty and the Beast, but this will do, you know? Like, I love Disney, but that's my shit. So I just started masturbating, and my brother's friend came in, and, like, we had a window, and he didn't catch me. He watched me. He, like, watched me finish and shit. And then, like, I heard the doorbell ring, and I was like, pulled up, and then I ran upstairs, like, hey, how's it going? And then he high-fived, went to high-five, and then I went to high-five, and he pulled back, he's like, ha, I saw you were jerking off, It was horrible. He told all my friends. I was like in grade 10 at this point, and you can't be the jerk-off guy in grade 10. You're not even supposed to talk about that. Like, I was ostracized from society. No one talked to me. People would just, like, do this on the street. Like, fuck you, jerk-off boy. It's so horrible. Now, like, I can't even watch porn anymore. I was too scarred. Now, whenever I jerk off, it's like an exorcism. Like, I just fucking turn off all the lights, pull a blanket over my head, just try and get that evil out as quick as possible. Just get that evil out! Turn the lights on, act like nothing happened, you know? That guy was a bully, though. That guy was a fucking bully. I hate bullies. You know, like, there's all these bullies. You'll hear all this shit about bullies, like, especially, like, Facebook bullying. That's the newest thing. And you always read about, like, this young, like, beautiful girl, like, that committed suicide because she got Facebook bullied. And it's super sad, and, like, it's really shitty. But I blame the parents, mostly. Like, I don't think you should let your kid have Facebook until you cuss them out a little bit. You can't just be like, hey, you're special. Go enjoy the internet. Go have fun out there. Like, you can't do that. You gotta cuss out your kids. You gotta fucking roughen them up a little bit. Like, my dad used to cuss me out. He would get so mad, he would, like, mess up his swear words. He'd be like, oh, you son of a cock! You bitch sucker, I hate you! Like, it was so crazy. Like, if Facebook was around when I was a kid, I could have had that shit when I was 4, you know? Like, just 4-year-old Morgan just on Facebook, like, hey, what's up? And then some Facebook bully comes on, he's like, hey, little bitch, little 4-year-old bitch, why don't you commit suicide, little 4-year-old bitch? I just pop back like, hey, why don't you come up with some new material, asshole? My dad's been calling me a bitch and telling me to commit suicide since I was 2. What the fuck? What do you expect me to cry? You expect me to cry like your wife cries when I fuck her? What up? I don't know. What are you talking to? I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'll finish with one more thing. That was kind of a shitty way to finish, huh? That was not so great. You agree? That was shit. I agree. Okay, so I'll finish this. I lost my iPad charger this week. That was disappointing to me. I know what you guys are all thinking too. Like, my friend said, I told my friend this. I'm like, hey, I lost my iPad charger. And he was like, oh, first world problems, right? First world problems. I'm like, fuck you. You know, these assholes, like, first world problems. I'm like, fuck you. First of all, the iPad is the only thing I own. I don't even have a home. And it's stolen. So, if anything, it's like lower middle class first world problems. So don't fucking, you know, sure, I was born into every opportunity, but I've done absolutely nothing about it. So don't, like, fucking class me with you. And this is a guy, he's an asshole, my friend. He's the kind of guy that wears, like, a gold monocle and just smashes flat screen TVs in front of homeless people. It's like, hey, first world problems. What are you gonna do, you know? You can tell I'm poor because I still say flat screen TVs. I think they're just called TVs now. I don't think there's another kind. Anyways, that's my time. My name's Shea. Thank you so much.